What's up, YouTube? We had to get a part 2 in here on Beatrice the psychopath. Now, I'm calling her that because her actions and everything she's saying, it's just psychotic. Whether that's on purpose or not, don't know yet. But I did a quick video just kind of talking about this when they apprehended this lady, and she's just like nonchalant. Yeah, I ran these people over because whatever. But now they're actually interrogating her, and it's just like crazy bizarre what she says. And some of it proves my point too. Like, a lot of these people you would never know could do something like this. This lady ran over a bunch of people in the parking lot on purpose. People watched her do it. They called the cops on her, which, by the way, yeah, defund the police. Defund the police until some lady decides to run everyone over in a parking lot. And then she was on her way, who knows where else. Like, somebody followed her out of the parking lot, and then they followed her until the police managed to locate her and pull her over, because obviously she could have went to any number of parking lots and she could have just kept doing the same thing, running people over. So thank goodness we have police officers to respond to something like this and get this woman instantly off the road. And here's what she's going to tell them as soon as they bring her in. This just gets wild. Here we go.
I got a water here for you. I'm going to loosen those handcuffs up a little bit and get you a little bit more comfortable. How does that sound?
Sounds good.
All right. I'm good. Good?
Nice, pleasant lady.
So what's your name?
Beatrice Bijou.
How do you say that last name?
Bijou.
Bijou?
Yes.
Okay.
Congratulations, Beatrice. You have made the Shitty People's playlist.
All right. You want to have a seat right there?
Yeah.
All right. Beatrice, my name's George, and I'm one of the people that's just trying to figure out what happened today. All right? Before we get started, I do have...
Something to take note, though, real quick. Pay attention to how long she actually takes to answer anything, right? And trust me, there's a plot twist to coming, okay? But just when we get to that point, just keep in mind how she's been answering these questions and how long it's taken her to answer some of them. She's really thinking things through, and you can see that. Just make sure to take mental note of that. Here we go.
To read Miranda warning because you're sitting here at the police station.
Drinking
Yeah,
water?
please, by all means. And it's just part of our rules that we have to abide by, that when I have a person sitting here in handcuffs and I want to talk to them and find out what happened, I have to read this and we'll go from there, okay?
Okay. Can I have my phone so I can delete my social media?
Well, why don't...
First of all, would a truly insane person going through some kind of crazy mental break and running people over, would they really care about their social media or to delete it? Or, I mean, of course they're not going to let you delete social media. There could be evidence on there. She could have posted something saying, I'm about to run people over, and that means it's planned. And, you know, so it's just the fact that she would be like, can I have my phone so I can delete, you know, the fact that that's even what she's worried about, the fact that she is even worried about something like that. I don't know. I like to think that well, I mean, if I ran a bunch of people over, it would be an accident. And I sure as hell wouldn't be going about the situation dealing with it like this. It's really bizarre. Here we go.
We talk about that in a second, okay?
Okay.
All right. Today's date is 2/22. All right. So I've been told a little bit about what's going on, but I got some basic questions before we get into what happened.
Here it comes.
Have you had anything to eat today?
We're not there yet. Hold on.
I ate an apple.
Okay, you had an apple earlier? What time was that?
Really thinking it over. over that apple. He's like, I better take a drink and
Morning or afternoon?
because they're already trying to lock me into a timeline.
Morning.
Okay. Your driver's license says you live down in Boca. Did you drive all the way up here today?
No,
Okay. Where did you drive from today?
I live in Stewart.
How far did you go in school?
I'm an attorney.
You're an
What?
attorney?
What? Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, that is the bombshell. 4 minutes, 14 seconds in. What? This bitch is an attorney. An attorney. Not, I'm going to school to work in the legal field, to be a paralegal. No, this is, I already finished school and I'm an attorney.
Okay. Where do you practice?
I
Exactly.
have my own law firm.
Okay.
Oh, you're an attorney and you have your own law firm. Yo, that means that she has represented people in court. I mean, this video never stops to really tell us whether she's lying or not about being an attorney and having her own law firm, but that would imply that she has actually went to court as part of the legal system, right, and running people over in the goddamn parking lot. If she works with lawyers and judges all day, she obviously knows how to hide her ailment pretty well, right? Or is there even an ailment? Let's see.
The detective's goal in this interrogation is to decide whether Beatrice needs to go to jail or a mental health hospital. It's possible that Beatrice accidentally hit several people with her car and is using her mental health problems as a get-out-of-jail-free card.
See, that doesn't make sense to me, because if you accidentally hit somebody with your car, I would think that there would be a worse punishment for flooring it and trying to hit more people. Even if you blame it on schizophrenia or whatever, and you have to go to a mental hospital instead of going to jail, once you get out, I don't think you're ever going to have a car ever again. You're never going to have a license ever again, because it's documented that if you have an episode, you will try to run people over and kill them with your car. So, again, if you have an accident and you back into somebody, you get out, you stop, and you make sure that they're okay. And if, you get into some trouble for that, you deal with it. And even if you have to go to jail over an accident, you're going to get out of jail. You're going to be able to get a driver's license again, because you're not running people over on purpose and trying to actually kill them and use the car as a weapon. So to me, that just does not make any sense. I just don't see somebody like her going into a mental hospital for a month or two over running people over with a car like this, and then just getting out scot-free with it and being able to go back to their normal life, having a car, being able to drive. I just don't see that. So that excuse doesn't work for me. But let's see where they go with it.
Also possible that she is in fact mentally ill, and everything that happened was out of her control.
Mentally ill and is still able to become an attorney. Yeah, this is what I've been talking about. Like, you cannot just identify these people. But who knows what she's doing here? She starts answering these questions. Look at how long she's pausing and how she's answering them. I don't know if she's trying to do this from like a legal standpoint so that they can't really lock her into anything like a schedule or a time frame. I don't know if this is her trying to deflect some of the things by, playing lawyer for herself, or if some of this is her mental. I don't know. I would think that she has to be kind of playing up the disability here, because I don't see this woman being able to sit in front of somebody and make like a court case for them if she's on this level. Just check this out.
One of the things that worried me is someone said that you heard voices. What can you tell me about that?
Yeah, I've been hearing voices telling me to kill myself and to kill other people.
When did that start?
As soon as I wanted to get out of going to jail. I don't know. Look, just look at how long she takes to pause and think here and listen to the answer she gives, because she's not really answering his question. Still pausing. Yeah, really think it through.
I have a gun at my parents' house right now.
Okay.
And my brother took it away.
Okay.
He put it in a safe.
Okay.
Okay, so that is not what they asked you at all. That you're not even answering their question. So in a way, this is kind of clever, because they can ask you a question and you could just feed them whatever bullshit story that you want and not talk about what they actually asked you. My brother has a gun, or what did he, something about a gun that the dude wasn't even asking about a gun. So that to me, let's see.
I've been trying to kill myself for quite some time. I moved to Texas, and I tried to kill myself in Texas, and it didn't work. I tried to shoot myself, and the gun didn't go off.
Okay.
And then I tried to do it again.
How long ago?
I see. He should have let her keep going right there. You tried to do it again. I'm sorry. If you're smart enough to get through school and be an attorney, you are smart enough to know how a gun functions. And anybody actually trying to off themselves, well, they're going to take a practice shot and they're going to shoot the gun into the dirt first and make sure that it's shooting, and then they're going to do it. She also said, and then the second time. So there's a reason why her second attempted suicide with a gun did not work. So far, voices in her head have told her to kill herself and to kill other people. She has not managed to kill herself. She has not even managed to hurt herself or put a scrape on her, but she has managed to kill other people, run them over. How come she was so easily successful at that, but when it came to actually doing harm to herself, well, either the gun wouldn't go off or there was something always stopped her from hurting herself, but that something wasn't there when it was time to hurt other people. So this whole thing's effing bizarre.
Was that?
Last year,
Okay.
around April 2021.
Okay, so last year, maybe.
Also, she's like remembering dates and exactly when this was when, around this time, this month. Like, I probably couldn't even do that as well as her. So homegirl is trekking there. She's like putting together this timeline that she seems to be with it, right? Like, you can ask her when something happens, she'll be like, oh, that was April of last year or the year before that. And it's just, it does not fit what you would expect from somebody who's going through like a crazy bipolar schizophrenic break and doing all this stuff. But hey, maybe this is the other part of her bipolar disorder. Maybe she's like on her good side right now, right? Maybe earlier she was raging out, she ran all these people over, and now this is like the good side of her. If that makes any sense, because with bipolar you go from one polar opposite to the other. So it would be like somebody being extremely angry and aggressive, followed by them being extremely happy and pleasant and pleased. Yeah. So maybe that's what's going on here. Let's see.
Oh, you were in Texas. Is that the first time you tried to kill yourself?
Wheel of Fortune music plays. Yeah, don't worry. She pauses for a while. This is kind of what it's like. She is definitely aware that she is sitting in a police station. She's talking to police officers, and it looks like she is actually thinking through in her mind, how is what I'm going to say going to affect the future and what I can and can't say. So, because these are some major pauses here, right? And ultimately, she doesn't really want to answer their questions, so she just starts shooting off a different narrative. Check it out. He asks how long something. She ain't gonna answer that at all.
I got diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia.
Okay. When was that diagnosis?
2019.
Okay.
And it ruined my life.
Okay.
I've been in and out of mental institutions.
Uh-huh.
I think this is last year was the fourth one, and they locked me up for an extended period of time.
Do you have a physician? Do you see him?
Do you think maybe they locked you up for an extended period of time so that you couldn't run people over with a car and try to kill them? Because I don't understand how you could think there's anything kind of unfair and ruined your life about it. Lady, you ruined your life when you started trying to kill other people with a car. Okay, the mental hospital did not ruin your life. The mental hospital didn't make you run a bunch of people over in a parking lot. You did that. A mental hospital's job is going to be to make sure that you're not out in the streets running people over with a car because of your mental disorder. And it's going to be up to them to make sure that you never drive again, right? But of course, that's going to be totally unfair to you, and it's going to be complete and utter bullshit, even though you just got done running people over with a car.
On a regular basis. Who does that?
People suffering from bipolar disorder will have mood swings that range from really low depression to very high euphoria.
Yep.
When their moods are high, they will have increased energy, racing thoughts, aggressive behavior, and a heightened sense of self-importance. When their moods are low, they will feel tired, sad, hopeless, have difficulty concentrating, and will have thoughts of death and suicide.
Is he prescribing you any medication?
Yes.
What does he prescribe you?
He prescribes me zibrasidone, which is Geodon, and oxycarbazepine, which is Trileptal.
Okay.
Oxycarbazepine, the Trileptal is for the bipolar disorder, and the
Do you hear how she can like pronounce all of that? And she's educated in this. She can even tell you what it's for, which means she knows the signs and the symptoms of these things. Her doctor's probably telling her, you have these triggers. When you hear these voices, when you see this, you need to make sure you're on your medicine. I guarantee you they have like multiple care plans in place for this lady. They've instructed her. They've explained everything to her to the point where she knows what these medications are called. She knows what they're for. She's breaking it down right now. Well, I'm prescribed this and I'm prescribed this. This one's for this and this one helps this because this causes this. Like, she knows the whole damn rigmarole. This is an attorney. It's not like this is just some, like, I don't know, some wild child raised in the woods by wolves. Like, this lady knows, she's in the know. She's had doctors and everybody explain to her for years what's going on, and yet she succumbed to it. I don't know, that just like I said in the other video, to me, it's like if you get poison ivy on your leg, the doctor gives you poison ivy medicine and tells you what it is, and when your leg itches, you put the medicine on it, you put the cream on it, and your doctor tells you when it itches, don't itch it because you're going to spread it. So in my mind, if I got poison ivy and it started itching, I would put the medicine on it. Well, apparently this lady would just itch her leg to death. Right? Because the doctor's explained to her that she has poison ivy. He's given her the medicine for it. Yet she is sitting there itching her leg until it bleeds to death. That's the only way to explain this. Right? She knows she's diagnosed. She knows all these issues. She knows that she's been to these psych hospitals. She clearly knows right from wrong because she's an attorney. So at the end of the day, no matter what the stupid voices in your head are telling you, you're an attorney and you know what's right and wrong and what's legal and illegal. And no matter what the stupid voices in your head are telling you, if you run a bunch of people over with a car, the law says you're going to be in trouble for that. And you're an attorney. So I don't understand how this could actually really be an excuse for her. She's an attorney. She's got her own law firm.
zibrasidone is for the schizophrenia.
Has it been working for you?
Yeah, has it been working for you? She's going to take a long time to answer this. I haven't even seen this, but I'm going to guess she's going to take a long time to answer this because right now she's thinking, can this be used against me? How will this be used against me? If it is working, does that mean I have an excuse to run these people over? If it's not working or if I didn't take it, maybe that gives me an out as to why I ran these people over. This is what she's thinking in her mind right now as a lawyer. Because the facts that she puts out right now, they're like they're going to be used against her. So it's no surprise to me at this point when they ask her a question like this and she takes 5 minutes to think about it. And let's see if she even answers this one or if she just goes off on a tangent on something else. Let's see. He asked if the medication's been working for her.
No.
No. Okay.
Have you taken your medication as you're supposed to?
No.
No.
Okay.
When was the last time you took your medication?
This morning.
Okay. What about before?
Have you been taking your medication? No. When's the last time you took it? This morning. So sounds like you are taking it unless, well, obviously you wouldn't be able to take it that day if you got handcuffed and brought into a police station. So, but she did say she took it in the morning. So she is on some of the meds she's supposed to be on while she's running these people over. Okay.
Before that, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. It's always a good
More
one.
than a week?
I don't know is always good in an interrogation room because it can always be changed to something else later. Just remember that. I don't know is sometimes better than locking yourself into a yes or a no at the time, because I don't knows, they can always be changed later. You can go back and say, well, yeah, I went and I thought about it some more, and actually the answer is yes or no. I just didn't know at the time. So, okay, she's throwing that out. Because I'm sorry, but from somebody that does something like this, I would expect a bunch of I don't knows. I would expect, I don't even know where I am right now. Is this real life? I don't know. I would expect something like this, I would expect something like that, not an attorney who has her own law practice, who can clearly and competently answer everything. She's keeping her composure about her. Right, and yet she just had this break where she started listening to the voices in her head and started running people over in a parking lot in probably her Mercedes. Wild.
People.
Yo, I bet you right now, if I use my magic powers and I teleported you right next to her, sitting there in this little room, I bet you she could sit there and have a conversation with you calm as day, especially if you didn't know about what just happened. I bet you she would just turn to you and start talking to you, and you would just be like, well, I'm in this room and there's this nice lady here, and you wouldn't know. You would have no idea. You would have no idea. Just look at her composure. She doesn't really look worried at all.
Suffering from schizophrenia will experience hallucinations, delusions, and paranoia.
Yes.
They will hear voices that nobody else hears, and they appear to others as if they...
And specifically paranoid schizophrenics. I have worked with that. And that is kind of some of the worst of the schizophrenic world, because there's a paranoia factor on top of it. And they always think that there's some conspiracy, something's coming to get them. Let's see, there's a volcano under the house and it's going to erupt. I've heard all sorts of things. The water level is rising, and I swear I see water coming through the floor, and by the end of today we're gonna drown. And they're actually seeing some of this stuff. So at the time, what I'm trying to say is, with all of the different people that I've worked, I haven't seen any schizophrenic person sit there calmly like her. I haven't seen them articulate like her. They're clearly freaking out. They're clearly having these episodes. Their eyes are darting, and you can see that they're seeing something, because of the way that their eyes dart around and actually react to things. Okay, this is just at least what I've perceived from being around people that really have like paranoid schizophrenia. I could never see any of them sitting in a chair like this, talking nice and calm, and answering these questions, recalling these things. No, I could not. The people that I've worked with that have schizophrenia, part of their life is like a dreamlike state, and they know that. They see things, they hear things, they sometimes can't really have a good concept of time. So they're not gonna be very good at, well, yes, that was in the month of March this last year, 2020. Like, they're not going to be good at that. At least the ones that I've had the pleasure of working with, and they're not going to be able to keep their composure like this in some sort of interview like this. That's just what I've noticed so far in this. So, I mean, because to me, this is schizophrenia and bipolar. I would expect for her to somewhat be acting some paranoid schizophrenia way, because bipolar disorder, the ups and the downs, eventually you're going to hit a point where you're going to feel, just from that bipolar disorder, you're going to feel anxious and you're going to feel paranoid. And if you have schizophrenia on top of that, schizophrenia does not work well with paranoia. They're just, that's why paranoid schizophrenic is one of the worst ones to be diagnosed with, unfortunately. And I just would assume that bipolar would have a similar effect on schizophrenia. And this, what I see in front of me, this lady sitting here answering these questions, this isn't what I see when I think of bipolar and schizophrenia together. That's all I'm going to say, and that is just my professional opinion.
Lost touch with reality. Sometimes they will have a psychotic episode where they will have a sudden change in personality and behavior. These episodes can cause the person to do things they would never normally do.
Did you hear my question? Has it been more than a week after today? Since today?
I don't know.
Don't know. Okay.
Yeah, she didn't want to answer, and when you tried to lock her into it, it turned into an I don't know, so it could always be changed later. Big surprise.
Let's talk about today. What time did you get up this morning?
This morning I got up at 5 a.m.
Okay. Is that normal?
I get up at 5 a.m. every morning.
Okay. Did you go to work at all?
No.
Okay. Do you have kids?
No, I don't have any children.
Okay. Where do you live?
Palm Beach Road, Stuart, Florida, 34994.
Perfect. I just
Yeah, the last schizophrenic person I worked with could never tell you his address, could never recite half of the stuff that she just recited. Now, at the same time, everybody's different. Everybody's different, right? So I'm not going to exclude that from the realm of possibility. What I'm saying is, to me, this looks more like a sociopath that is manipulating a bad situation more so than a woman that had a schizophrenia and bipolar break. Because here's the thing. Here's just something that I've noticed. People with schizophrenia, they still have feelings and emotions, right? As a matter of fact, I was walking with a schizophrenic man and this bug fell out of a tree. I don't even know what it was. It was this big ass bug, sequoia looking thing. It wasn't pretty. And as soon as it fell on the ground in front of us, I was kind of like, ew. And this guy's like, and honestly, I thought he was going to smash it to shit. And no, this guy jumps on top of it and says, don't kill it, don't kill it. And I was just like, really? I wouldn't expect that from you. I guess you have, you feel bad for it. You feel compassion. You feel for this thing. Now, a sociopath isn't going to have those feelings. They're only going to be able to pretend to have those feelings. They don't know what compassion is. They don't feel that warmth. They don't. There's nothing good to them from sharing, only taking. And that's kind of what I see from her. I see the dull. There's no real emotions. There's no empathy. There's no sympathy. She hasn't even asked once if the people that she ran over are okay. She just doesn't care. So just based on the lack of actual empathy in any of this and the fact that there's really no emotion, I'm even looking like, can I see her pretending to throw any emotions out? Because like I said, to me, this looks like a sociopath, a manipulative one, trying to manipulate a bad situation, not some bipolar schizophrenia lady that just had a mental snap. Now, that's really what it looked like to me so far. Maybe this will change my mind. Let's see.
Forgot. I know you
Right
don't.
over there.
Okay. What'd you do when you got up?
When I got up, I went to go take a shower and brush my teeth.
Okay. And then what happened?
And then I sat in my bed. And I just laid in my bed after that.
Oh.
Okay. So what were you thinking about when you were lying in your bed?
To hurt myself and to hurt others.
But why? What's the
Is that a
point?
normal thought for you?
What's the point of hurting them though? What are you going to get out of it? Is it going to make you feel better? Is it going to make your day better? Is there like a reason? Right? Cuz like the schizophrenic people that I've heard are like there's a reason. There's a reason. I need to cut your head off so the aliens can't get it. There's a reason why they're doing the harm if they're doing it. They think that they're helping something or that they're doing something or that, you know, they're imagining something. It's yeah. I have heard of people describing voices like she's describing. I've heard of that for sure. But anytime I've actually witnessed a schizophrenic person in a schizophrenic break and they're trying to break something or do something, it's usually because they think something else is happening, something in their paranoid world. Like, I don't know, an example would be I have to off everybody before the aliens come and harvest our brains. Like, you know, something like that. There's like a cause and effect in their mind, and they're trying to remedy that. They're trying to remedy some terrible situation that's gonna happen. They can feel it. They know it's gonna happen. They feel the dread, and it could be anything. Like I said, from a volcano going off to the flood is going to take us all out. It's something along the lines of that. She's super vague about it, and I don't know. Like I said, it's not looking good for the bipolar schizophrenia diagnosis. Just IMO.
Where did that just start today?
You just had no problem remembering all those
I
other
hear
things.
voices.
And what do the voices usually tell you?
To kill myself.
And is that what the
How?
voices usually say?
What words do they use?
Did they tell you anything else?
Well, she's not going to want to give an answer here because then somebody like me can come in and say, well, that doesn't actually match up with what a lot of people hear or the details in it. She probably doesn't know what to say. Either way, she is definitely not directly answering the questions.
They told me other stuff to hurt others.
Okay.
And how long has that
They
been
would tell
going
you
on?
other stuff.
Since I got diagnosed with schizophrenia. bipolar
Okay.
since 2019.
So they've been telling you to hurt others since 2019. Have you ever hurt anybody before?
No,
No? Today was the first day?
today was the first day.
Okay. But they've told you to hurt people before. Why was today different?
Good question. So real quick, the answer I would expect would be, I know that it's wrong to hurt people, and I've never listened to the voices, but they just wouldn't stop. And this one time, I just figured if I actually did what the voices told me to do, then maybe they would stop. That's what I would kind of expect to hear, but who knows? She's not wanting to give any answer, so let's see what she ends up coming up with. Yeah, because she's like, man, this is a tricky one.
I just lost it.
I just lost.
Did something trigger you?
So I just lost it does not answer his question at all. I just lost it. She could go back and say, well, I said I just lost it. I meant the conversation. I didn't know what he, like, accepting that statement and not clarifying it right there, like, lost what? Lost the conversation that we're having, or you just lost your sanity that day? But she's not directly actually answering what he's asking. So, any of the schizophrenic people that I've had to talk to, they will directly answer every single thing that I ask them. Now, some of the answers are going to be crazy sounding. They're going to maybe be nonsense. They're going to be, they're going to be odd, odd things, but they're going to be answered, right? And there's not generally going to be that much thought behind them. I've never had a conversation with a schizophrenic individual where they have literally paused for this long to really, really think about what they're going to say. Now, I get it. She's in an interrogation room at the police station, but a schizophrenic person isn't good. Like, I'm just trying to picture what... And here's the thing. I have seen schizophrenic people talk to the police, okay? It's not like they go into like a safety mode where it's like, okay, I better watch what I say because I could get in trouble. The last instance I've seen of a schizophrenic man talking to the police, he literally asked them if they could give him a job, if he could just go sweep the cells out for them or clean the cars out or whatever. And they're like asking him about some real like potential criminal stuff that he could get in trouble for. And in his mind, he's about to go work for them. They're going to give him a job or something like that. So that is just kind of what I'm used to seeing. These people are going to answer the questions. They're not even going to realize a lot of time how much jeopardy they're actually in. They're not going to take 20, 30 seconds in absolute silence to just sit there and think about answering something. And then ultimately giving the most... the most useless answer that really can't be used, something that they can go back and change. That's what this lady's doing. Or she's just not, she's answering questions with some kind of statement. I lost it. Lost what? Let's see. I really think about that one. Right, and notice how she instantly grabbed the water too. That is a smart ploy. Public speaking 101, that's a smart ploy. Have a bottle of water there. That way, when you're standing there thinking of what to say next or thinking of how to answer somebody's difficult question that they asked you, you're sitting there drinking water. And people are going to wait for you to finish drinking that water and clear your throat before you give your answer. So this lady was instantly drawn to the water. she knew she was going to have to use that as a tool, as a stalling tactic. That's what I see. That is what I see. If I was sitting there in an interrogation room, and I needed to buy time to think of a few scenarios in my head, yeah, I'd be grabbing that water and drinking on it while I was thinking of what I was going to say and how that could affect me in the future, especially if I was an attorney, which this woman apparently is. Real quick though, would this be your lawyer? Would this be your lawyer? Has she maybe represented you? Leave me a comment. I would really like to know. Would you hire this lady to be your lawyer? Obviously not if you ran a bunch of people over in a car. I can already imagine the legal advice she's going to give you for that. But just leave me a comment. Let me know. Would you hire this lady to be your attorney?
One thing you will notice throughout this interrogation is that Beatrice is constantly drinking from her water bottle.
Oh.
She will go through several bottles of water during this time. This
big effing, like, she will go through several bottles of water. That to me is suspect AF. Yo, if you're sitting there interrogation, even if you're thirsty or whatever, you're gonna drink a bottle of water. Okay, multiple bottles of water. You are gripping for that shit while you're making up whatever story. And it's just that's kind of what it looks like, right? And this is something that I've already noticed from the very beginning of this video. She instantly goes for that water. She asks her, "Can I get that water?" Right? And this is something that lawyers are taught. I worked at a law firm for like 4 or 5 years. This is something that lawyers are taught. Okay? It's better to be drinking water than just sitting there thinking with a blank look on your face. This is definitely something that lawyers do when they are asked a question and they want to think it over, and the judge is waiting for an answer. They will take a sip of their water to really think through what they're about to say. The fact that she's went through 3 bottles of water in this, that's not looking good.
could be a symptom of schizophrenia, where a person will repeat movements or gestures without thinking clearly. They will also move very slowly, and
I don't know, because she seems very calm and composed, and usually the schizophrenic people that are acting the way that he's describing, you would just see them squirming all over the place. And because like I was saying, some of the people I've worked with, they wouldn't be able to even just sit in that chair. Okay, you'd be asking them questions and they would be like, "What's that on your desk?" Or they would just tune out and start talking about something else completely. She's not really doing any of that. She's just answering questions in the most defensive way possible that actually does take some thought and concentration to pull off, right? All I'm saying is I couldn't see any of the people that I've worked with actually sit in this chair like this and this composed and this calm and answer these questions like this unless they were on some manipulative sociopath type stuff. So
will shift quickly from one thought to the next without any connections between them.
Can I speak to a lawyer?
All right, I'm sorry. There's no way in hell. Well, you know what? Actually, okay, maybe I could see a schizophrenic person being like, "I want to talk to a lawyer because on Law and Order they have a lawyer, and I'm supposed to." That's kind of what I would expect. But then again, this lady is an attorney. She is an attorney. She's asking for a lawyer now. Right? So she's went into this interrogation, gave half-ass answers that she can change at any given point and say, "Oh, I remember now. I didn't remember then, but I remember now." Didn't really directly answer any of the questions that they asked her. Put on this little pony show and then asked for her lawyer before she could actually answer any of the real questions. Lady, you are an attorney. If you were going to call for a lawyer, come on. That would have been the very first thing you did. Let's be real here. That would have been she would have walked in this room and said, you guys can take my statement from a lawyer. I'm an attorney. I want my lawyer. Why would, red flag.
To an attorney.
Okay.
We'll end it for now. Do you have an attorney in mind that you would like to call? Do you have an attorney in mind that you would like to call?
No.
Okay.
Herself?
You can change your mind.
Okay, that's also a very easy way of just being like, I'm not going to talk to you. Because here's the thing: if I told a police officer I want a lawyer, and then they said, okay, well, which lawyer? And I would just say, I don't know, or no. Well, I mean, I guess they would just get a court-appointed lawyer for her. Maybe that's what she's going for here, but like I said, so far she hasn't actually answered any other questions, and she's trying to skate now.
You can always talk to me again, okay? Just wanted you to sit tight for a little while.
I want to keep talking.
You want to keep talking?
Yeah.
Okay. You requested an attorney. Are you waiving that right again? You invoked the right to an attorney. I just want to be very clear that...
Yo, and she could be testing them here too. Right? Because she's like, okay, I asked for an attorney, and then I start talking to them again, and I could go back later and say, well, I technically asked for an attorney here, and they didn't bring me one, and then me and him just kept talking. And that's what this guy is trying to make sure she doesn't get away with right now. He is like bringing up the fact that, okay, well, you're talking to me again, you're going to waive that right. I'm sure she was kind of hoping that he would just skip right over that and just keep talking to her, so that if she did say anything wrong, she could go back later and say, I asked for an attorney, and he kept talking to me anyway. I don't know. Let's see what he says.
You're waiving your...
I just lost it today.
Okay. Is there something that happened? I'm going to turn this back on.
Like, interjecting with something like that, where you're going to cut the police officer off so that it stops him from asking whatever he was going to ask. And yet you're putting out a statement like, I just lost it today. And it's going to make him stop and be like, oh, okay, well, elaborate on that a little bit. And then she's going to go nowhere with it.
I'm going to turn it back on because you're requesting to talk to me. Okay? Is that fair? This is Jordan Clay.
I also noticed that in a lot of this, she doesn't want to say yes or no on recording. It's almost like she wants to just kind of look at the cop and nod and have him be like, okay, that's a yes. She's the point is when he's asking her these yeses and nos, she's not giving him, she's looking at him and nodding yes, but she's not actually saying yes. So I think she's very well aware of her surroundings, how this works. Yeah, I just from watching this interrogation, I wouldn't think, oh, well, clearly this is a bipolar schizophrenic lady, and they just don't know how to deal with this. Let's see.
President is...
Did someone die today?
Okay, that's interesting. Did someone die today? So again, she's not asking, is everybody okay? Did somebody die today? And is everybody okay? Two completely different things. She is asking, did anybody die today? So that she can pretty much figure out right now if she's actually going to get charged with murder. That is why she's asking that. It's not out of kindness and compassion. Or that would have been the first damn thing that this lady said as soon as they put her into the interrogation room. Oh my God, is everybody okay? I lost it today. I don't even know what. Is everybody okay? Please tell me everybody's okay. She doesn't have any remorse. She doesn't have any of that. She only wants to know, like, she knows she hurt these people. She only wants to know if any of them actually died, because that is going to affect the way that she is criminally charged. And it's not like she's saying this with tearful eyes of remorse. This is interesting.
I will tell you 3 people got hit by your car.
Okay.
And one of them is going up to Longwood for treatment. I don't know what their status is. And
I'm really sorry.
I believe
I'm really sorry, and I'm really emotionless about it. And actually, I don't care. I'm only saying that I'm really sorry because I know from conditioning that this is something that somebody ought to be sorry for. But I don't actually feel sorry. I don't feel any sort of remorse. I don't feel bad over this. I mean, look, her voice isn't even breaking up or cracking. Yo, a normal person ran into some people, they would be in there crying, asking, are they okay? Is everybody okay? They would be in there thinking, like a lot of people, especially religious people, would be sitting there thinking, did I just take a life? Did I just take an innocent life? Like, how do I repent for that? What do I even do? I mean, these are like, people cry over shit like that. You're not just going to sit there cold-faced. I mean, clearly, the lady has no remorse, no compassion, no feelings. And that is why I'm sticking with the manipulative sociopath diagnosis here, in my personal opinion. Not bipolar or schizophrenia. I think they got her pegged wrong.
I believe you. I
Not
think
one
you're
tear.
a good person, has some bad things going on, and I'd like to get you some help. Because you requested an attorney, and then you said you don't want an attorney, I'm just going to pretend like I didn't read this, and I'm going to read it to you again.
I like how he has to reiterate that out loud, right? He has to make sure that it's known that, like, well, you request an attorney, and then you opted out of that, right? He's saying this out loud so that it's clearly recorded. So that's what that is, and I can see why.
Okay.
Okay.
So I need to understand, are you okay with talking to me, or do you want a lawyer here?
Drink that water and really think about this. Is a lawyer going to play along with my bullshit? Right? Is a lawyer
Where are
right
they
now?
going to take me after this?
I'm not sure what's
Right, where are they going? Well, right, she's more worried about where am I going to go after this? Is getting me a lawyer right now, is that going to change that outcome at all? That is what she's thinking about. Because he is asking her, do you want a lawyer here to, and she straight goes to, what's happening to me after this? She's already thinking 2 steps ahead. And probably, what is a lawyer going to do for me here? Interesting.
going to happen next. I'm really not sure. Okay?
I want to take my own life right now.
Well, that's not good.
Oh, okay. Well, here's what's going to happen to me after this. I'm going to go to a hospital for sure, because I know that if I say this right now, in fact, she might be thinking, yo, if I start just talking about offing myself right now, they might just take me right out of this interrogation room and take me right to the hospital. So let's see if that's her play.
And I would like to talk to you. But like I said, when you
Can I speak to a doctor?
we're
Yeah. Yeah. Can I get a doctor to somehow make these problems of mine go away? She's pretty much hinting at asking if, like, take me to a doctor. Okay. Also, when is the last time you heard a person so calmly and coolly just be like, I'm going to off myself? If you do, it's probably sarcasm. I've seen people make real suicidal threats. I'm not going to speak for all of them, but most of them do not look like this. Not any of the ones that I've actually seen, they do not look like this. Usually people are crying, they're emotional, they're in turmoil, they're dealing with a terrible event in their life or a bunch of events. They're an emotional wreck. They're you know, they're sitting there going through all their problems, and the marriage ended and the kids hate me and nothing, it's not this. It's not this is all I'm saying, right? And speaking of which, bipolar, I don't see her getting emotional at all. How is she hiding the bipolarness? Right? Bipolar means emotion. Emotions that cannot be caged or controlled. I am not seeing any of these emotions. I am seeing a stone-faced, stone-cold, manipulative bitch.
Probably going to get you a doctor to talk to, at least to start with. But as far as
Because in her mind, no, I can go talk to a doctor and stay at the hospital for a month or two, and then the hospital will release me, and I will just get to walk out. That literally might be what she's thinking.
Miranda goes, and my knowledge of the law, you're not entitled to speak to a doctor now. You are entitled to a lawyer, if that's what you would like. I'm willing to talk to you, and it will help us determine.
I'm afraid.
What are you afraid of?
I don't know, I'm just afraid right now.
Okay.
Right.
I'm going to read this last sentence again.
So, and just to point out, any criminal that broke the law would be afraid right here. They would probably do a better job of showing it, though. They wouldn't actually have to say, I'm afraid. I'm afraid right now. She's not actually showing any signs of being afraid. Right? That's why she has to say it. Right? She can just say it since she's not good at showing it. Like sociopaths aren't good with emotions, remember? It's hard for them to, you can emulate certain emotions. You can put a smile on your face and act excited or happy, right? And sociopaths learn this. They learn that when the home team scores a point, everyone jumps up with a smile on their face and they say, yeah, go home team. They don't actually feel any of that energy or any of that excitement. But they know that other people do, so they do it to fit in. Like, that's how they train themselves. They condition themselves like that. And here's the thing, you can do that with happiness and excitement. But when it comes to grieving, when it comes to more difficult emotions to express, they can't do it. They can't do it. And this looks to me like she's like, okay, instead of me trying to pretend that I'm afraid right now, which I'm probably not even that really good at, I'm just going to say I'm afraid right now, just so that they know that I'm afraid, without having to actually look at me and see that I'm afraid, because you cannot tell that this lady is afraid at all right now. Okay? Her demeanor has not changed the whole time. And even the way that she says it, I'm afraid right now. Okay, the schizophrenics that I've worked with would be under that chair, quivering, like peeing themselves in the corner if they were afraid. They wouldn't tell you, I'm afraid. They would just start freaking out and talking nonsense, and you could very easily tell that they are afraid. They would be terrified. But I don't see any of that on her.
Okay, I want you to listen to what I'm saying. If you decide to answer questions now without a lawyer, you can still have the right to stop at any time. Do you understand that? Okay, so you can say, stop, I want my lawyer. I don't want to answer anymore. You also have the right to stop answering any time until you talk to a lawyer. So, what I'm saying is, if you'd like to continue talking with me, I'm willing to listen to you. I also have questions I'd like to ask you. If you do not want to talk to me, if you want your lawyer present, I'm not going to ask you any more questions, and I'm not going to talk to you because I don't want to violate your rights. Okay? So,
Big surprise that he's going this much out of his way to very clearly explain all this. All right. Good job. Good job, dude. Good job. Way to protect yourself. Good job.
what do we want to do? Do you want to talk a little bit more?
He's like, damn, I can't have it both ways.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit more.
Just a little bit.
Whenever you don't want to talk, just tell me, okay?
Okay.
All right. So you said
Just a little bit more. Why, you might ask? Any sort of, trained criminal is going to be sitting there trying to extract information from the police officer as well. Okay? If you're trying to figure out what you're going to be charged with, it's probably a good idea to find out if anybody's dead, first of all, because if somebody dies, if there's a loss of life, then you're talking about murder charges, manslaughter charges, charges like that, right? And criminals will talk to the police just long enough for the police to say, well, there's 2 dead bodies and they found them in your trunk. And then that's when they will say, okay, I want my lawyer now. Because in that criminal's mind, at least he knows what he's up against, right? And a lot of times a criminal will get brought in. They don't know if they're sitting in the police station for a homicide they did 6 months ago or from the bank robbery last week. And a lot of times they will sit there and they're trying to extract information out of the police and detectives and vice versa. And when they actually get to the critical point where they say, we found 2 bodies in your trunk, that's when they say, okay, that's what this is about. I'm going to need my lawyer now. Right? And then the criminal's at least going to know what he needs to try to make a legal defense for. And now, interestingly enough, this lady is a lawyer, an attorney, and it looks like she's kind of fishing for the same thing. She's smart enough to say, okay, I know, I'm going to keep talking to you guys until I get some information. So let's just a little bit more. She's already dangled the lawyer card. She's tried the doctor card. But she wants to talk just a little bit more. Let's see where she goes with it.
a couple things while we were trying to read this that you're scared right now. Is that a normal feeling for you? Okay.
Again, she's not answering.
Something specifically that scared you today
just nodded.
before you hit me with your car?
I also notice it's kind of a strange nod. I don't know if I would accept that as a yes, because he just kind of did. He's like, okay, now, is that normal for you? She's not really looking like she's nodding her head yes. She could turn around and say, like, that was just a spasm I was having or something. I wasn't actually nodding my head yes. I was just kind of rocking back and forth in the chair. He might have thought that I nodded my head yes. I mean, this is just kind of what it looks like to me. Because she's not actually answering his questions. She's trying to do them with these little nods, and he's even starting to go along with it for the sake of actually getting some information out of her. See if we can get her to spill any beans. I could put Jeopardy music into this every time she do 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 do.
Tell you what, let's not talk about that, okay? You told me that you wanted your phones to delete stuff off social media.
Interesting here. I would choose to talk about something else to see how her train of thought is when trying to talk about something else. If she's taking 20 minutes to answer any of your questions, and that is just a personality trait of hers, she's going to continue to take 20 minutes to answer anything. So if you start asking her what her favorite pizza topping is, and what she's obviously going to sit there for 20 minutes until she tells you pepperoni and mushrooms and pineapple. Recently, I've been throwing some pineapple on the... I know it sounds crazy once you get older and you've had so much pepperoni pizza, you start like, well, let's throw some ham on there too. Let's try a pineapple. Pineapple, pepperoni, and mushroom is actually very good. Just FYI. So let's see where she goes with it.
On your social media that you're worried about people seeing?
My accounts.
It is interesting to see what she thinks of being perceived as on social media, and that's really important to her. Again, I think this is the first schizophrenic individual that I've seen that actually has an internet online presence. Maybe the ones that I've worked with in the past are just more extreme, and with their behavioral issues, they can't even sit down and do anything on a computer. Or maybe this lady is misdiagnosed. I don't know. I don't know, but I've never heard of a schizophrenic person say or worry about anything about their online presence or how much clout they're getting or the people on YouTube or Facebook, MySpace. I've never heard that come up. Ever. Ever. Never. So just throwing that out there, this lady seems to be worried about things that other schizophrenic people just are not. So let's see. She wants to get back into the phone because she says she wants to delete her account, which it wouldn't surprise me. Somewhere in her account, she made some kind of stupid post saying, I'm about to go run a bunch of people over at the supermarket. I don't know. It just wouldn't even surprise me at this point.
I don't want people seeing my accounts open. I just want to delete them.
Why?
Because this is embarrassing.
Did you put something on there?
Uh-huh.
Did
No.
you videotape
No,
it?
then why would they know
No.
it's embarrassing?
Okay. Is there any indicators on there that this is going to happen to them?
No.
Okay.
Good
Then
question.
I guess I don't understand what would be embarrassing.
Exactly. Exactly. Take another.
I intentionally tried to hit those people because of voices in my head telling me to do it.
Okay.
Okay, and that's not telling us anything. You are repeating the word salad, word salad, word salad. Let's throw some word salad. Let's throw them something that already sounds like an awesome confession, and then just gives them nothing, because this is literally the fourth time I have just said the same shit till railroad whatever train of thought this detective has or wherever he's going. I'm just going to interrupt and say, I ran. You hear?
I intentionally tried to hit people because I heard voices in my head telling me to kill myself and to kill people.
Is that what the script says? Because that's kind of what it. God damn it! It just sounds like a script at this point. And I don't know if you can keep track, but I think that's probably the 5th to 8th time that she has just read from the script.
What do those voices sound like?
Good question. Are they different voices? Can you tell them apart? How many of them are there? Are there
I don't
multiple
want to answer
voices?
that.
She doesn't want to answer that. She doesn't want to answer that because she probably maybe is unsure of what the right answer should be. Right? I've asked this to schizophrenic people. Are there multiple voices? Can you tell the difference between them? And I've heard that these voices have different personalities and they have different sounds. The last time I heard of voices, first of all, I was told that they were women's voices. This is a man. This is a schizophrenic man who really is schizophrenic. And he was hearing women's voices in his head, constantly nagging him, making fun of him for this, making fun of him for that, telling him he couldn't do this, he couldn't do that. And they were women's voices. He could identify that. And I don't know. I believe him. I don't believe this lady. At least not so far.
Is it the same voice?
I don't want to answer because I don't know.
I don't want to answer that.
Oh,
You don't want
big surprise. Any of the questions that are actually going to help really diagnose what, like, you know, what's going, she's not going to want to answer those. Interesting. Like, she seems to be pretty in control of this interrogation. That's what I'm going to say. That's just not something that you would expect from a bipolar schizophrenic individual that is so calm and composed.
to talk about the voice at all with me? Okay.
Too demonic.
Demonic? Okay.
Oh, demons now. Okay. Okay. All right. Hallelujah. Let's bring some religion into this. Okay. All right. Okay. Now it was the word of God, and these were demons. I know I shouldn't joke around about that because these things happen. Women kill children and then say that some voice in their head that they thought was God told them to do it. This shit actually happens. It's real. You come across it in the news. It does happen. It's some of the saddest shit on this planet. And I guess she's talking about demons now. So this is the first any like really religious talk or religious mention. Demons, I consider that to be in the religious realm when she's talking about angels and demons and stuff like that. So interestingly enough, she hasn't mentioned anything about demons prior to this. So now there's demons. Let's see.
Did something happen today when you were sitting in your car that got you upset?
My car. I'm upset.
Upset about what? Water tower. Yeah, I'm calling that a lawyer tactic because, like, even how she kind of swishes the water around in her mouth for a second and, like, takes her time to actually swallow the water, like, all of that to me looks like it's just to buy time. And it keeps looking like that more and more, you know, the more she does it. That's whether or not they would have told us that she's went through 3 bottles of water in this interrogation.
The fact that I have bipolar and schizophrenia has been haunting me for a long time.
Okay.
I don't want to accept that I have it.
Okay.
Oh, okay. I don't want to accept that I have it. Are you saying you're not accepting the fact that you just ran a bunch of people over in a parking lot? Because if you don't want to blame that on schizophrenia and bipolar, then you're the one at fault for that, because then the blame has to fall on you. So I guess which is it? Because we can't have it both ways.
Well,
It's hard to accept that I'm under that diagnosis.
okay. I guess.
And it makes me angry.
So that makes sense. Okay, I'll run a bunch of people over and I'll prove them wrong. They're saying that I'm schizophrenic and bipolar. I'll prove them all wrong by running a bunch of fucking people over with my car. Exactly how a bipolar, schizophrenic person having some kind of snap would do. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think this is actually the scenario. I think she's just trying to paint it out like it is. Again, all of this to me points to a cold, calculating sociopath that is trying to manipulate the situation. She is clearly putting the script out. This is how she wants this written up. It's because she has had a schizophrenic episode and this happened. She doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't actually want to go through and explain any of it. She just wants to give this statement and be done with it, and you can tell.
Okay, fair enough. don't understand is today's not the first day that you've been told this. But it's not the first day you've had access to your medication didn't get changed or anything like that.
Right.
So
What?
I said, today's not the first day that you found out, right? We go back to 2019 with this. So I guess what I'm looking for is what happened today on 2/22 that said today's the day I want to hurt people.
The detective wants to know what was the trigger that caused Beatrice to try and take 4 lives. There is the possibility that it was in fact a schizophrenic episode,
Yeah,
but there's also the possibility
that possibility is shrinking by the second, in my opinion. We're down to like a 0.3% chance just IMO. What's the other possibility?
that she was in a bad mood. She
Oh.
could have been very angry as she drove through the grocery
Whoa. A sociopath in a bad mood literally would do something like this and take it out on other people. And this is just what they would do. Right? Unfortunately, that's what it looks like to me. Is that, yeah, she was just in a bad mood and took it out on people. And the reason she was able to do that so easily is because she doesn't actually feel compassion. So when somebody's hurt, she doesn't feel bad for them. So she can hurt people easily without it draining on her consciousness, without it draining and pushing on any emotions, because she doesn't really have those emotions. And like I said, people with schizophrenia, especially people with bipolar, they definitely have emotions. I haven't seen any emotions this whole time. I've only seen, are there any people dead, so I can know if I'm getting charged with a murder or manslaughter charge. That's what I've seen. I haven't seen her cry. I haven't seen her weep. I haven't actually seen any bipolar up and downs here. What I see, like I said, is a sociopath manipulating everything that they can. And that actually kind of just fits the profile of what a sociopath would do. They're in a bad mood. They get in a car. They see somebody smiling and laughing. And they're just like, you know what? Run them over. And you know what? I think that's probably what happened here. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Let's finish her off.
store parking lot, and perhaps she did not want to wait for them to finish walking across the street.
Yep.
The
Something that
detective
simple.
has to decide if
Yeah.
Beatrice was
Yes, sociopath, something that simple where like I don't want to, I shouldn't have to wait the 10 seconds for these people to cross the street and just run them over. Yes, that is something that a sociopath would do. And then they would try to manipulate their way out of the situation. And I think this is what that would look like.
in full control when the incident occurred, or if it was a result of her mental health problems.
I'm very angry right now.
Okay, that's what angry looks like. What is she angry?
Are you angry at anything in particular?
My mental state.
Okay, so she just went from being scared and terrified to angry. I haven't seen any emotional change in her at all with her body language or anything. Right? Scared and angry, well, they kind of go hand in hand, but then they kind of don't. You would definitely be able to tell the difference between somebody scared and spooked or somebody pissed off and angry. And again, notice how she's describing these things because she has to tell you what her emotional state is. She can't actually show it. Right? She doesn't want to show it. She probably knows that she's not good at showing it. So she has to slip in verbally what her emotional state is right now because you're not going to be able to see it by looking at her. And she probably knows this about herself.
Okay.
I don't want to feel like this. I'm tired of feeling like this.
Okay.
Again, she's using that word feeling, but I don't actually see her feeling anything. I don't see any remorse. So for her to even be talking about feelings while she's sitting here expressing absolutely none, expressing no feelings at all, having to verbally tell you what her feelings are and how she feels, again, that is just, in my opinion, something that a sociopath would have to do to convey to you how they want you to perceive them at the time, because they don't really feel any of that shit. And again, it would be very easy for a sociopath to just run people over because there's no compassion, there's no sympathy, there's no, oh shit, I snapped their leg in half. Oh, it's going to be so painful to get that leg fixed. Oh no, I'm going to affect their family. Who knows? They might lose their job because I just crippled them. And look, that guy has his back broken. He's going to be in a wheelchair for the rest of his life, and it's all my fault. Like, I don't see her thinking about any of that or reacting to any of that in any sort of acceptable fashion. So I, I'm like, I'm pretty sure on this one that this is not a bipolar schizophrenia lady. This is a cold, calculating sociopath that is trying to use bipolar and schizophrenia to get off of some crime that she committed. Here's the thing, too. Really, really think about this. If you have issues like this and you're going to the doctor, would you rather have the doctor write you up as a sociopath that manipulates people? Or would you rather have the doctor write you up as somebody that has schizophrenia and bipolar? You would choose schizophrenia and bipolar any day of the week, and you would be able to use that. A sociopath would choose to be diagnosed with bipolar and schizophrenia instead of being diagnosed as a sociopath. As soon as people find that out and they find out you're a sociopath, they read up on it, and you're less likely to be able to take advantage of them. Whereas if you're a sociopath and you get diagnosed with schizophrenia and bipolar, well, that can just be used as an excuse in the future to get away with things. And that's kind of what it looks like here. And what I'm saying is, somebody with an anti-personality disorder would gladly have doctors misdiagnose them and then use that misdiagnosis as a weapon or a tool or just as a way to get out of being in trouble. The last thing a sociopath or an anti-personality disorder individual wants anybody to know is that they are sociopaths. And because, well, for a lot of reasons. For a lot of reasons, right? Because manipulation is a big deal. It's a big part of that diagnosis. And when people know what you actually are, you can't manipulate them. If people think you're something else, you can use that to manipulate them. So I think that is at the core root of it. And that is just my professional opinion and what it looks like and sounds like to me. And I can't even count how many schizophrenic, bipolar people that I've worked with, people that hoarders, people that collect things and have to be like taken out of their house by force because there's black mold and the apartment complex is suing them because the whole like apartment is getting contaminated. Yeah, just people that have real mental issues to deal with. And like I said, yeah, everyone's different, but I've never seen anybody like her, especially with schizophrenia and bipolar. And the only time I do see somebody that acts and reacts like her is when we're talking about a sociopath or an anti-personality disorder. And this is what that would look like, sitting there trying to manipulate people. Now, that's just my personal opinion as a professional. You can leave me a comment. Let me know if I'm wrong. Maybe you think she is bipolar schizophrenia, just like the commentator in this video is saying. If you agree with them, I don't know, let me know. But I'm pretty dead set on this one. So much so that we had to make another video about her. So, yeah, my vote is on the anti-personality disorder. You can leave me a comment and let me know what your opinion opinionated diagnosis is, and we could talk about it. Interesting stuff. If you made it this far, thanks for supporting the channel, and let's finish her off for reals. Here we go. Back to the Jeopardy music.
So when you take
When I wanted my gun this morning, and I couldn't have it because my brother has it in a safe.
Okay.
Okay, yeah.
Who's your brother?
Patrick Espity.
Okay, where does he live?
He lives with us.
Okay, same house every trip? Mm-hmm. Okay. Who else lives in that house with you?
My mom.
Okay.
First of all, did she say she has a gun? That just brings up a bunch of questions. How do you get a gun when you're schizophrenic, bipolar, and you know what? Who knows if she's even telling the truth about this?
My dad.
Okay.
My sister sometimes. And her little baby.
Okay.
That's scary.
Do they all, you see a doctor? Yeah. How long have you had the gun?
I don't want to answer that.
I bought it in Texas.
That's
Since
not.
Texas.
Okay.
That's
So
not.
before 2019?
Yeah. No.
No. No.
2021. I've had the gun since 2021.
What? Okay. What in the hell? In 2019, you're diagnosed with this, and that. Okay. Like 2-3 years later, they let you go get a gun. How did your family even let you go get a gun? What? Clearly, the family knows that she has a gun, and that's why she's saying her brother locked it up. She clearly lied on her paperwork when she went to go get a gun. I don't see this lady getting a gun if she filled out the paperwork and actually wrote in there, yes, I was at a mental hospital for this, and that. Because she just told us that she's been in the mental hospital like the past couple of years, multiple times. She said 4 or 6 times, something like that. But yet she bought the gun 2-3 years ago. Or wait, no, blah. Reverse that. She's been going and dealing with this diagnosis for a few years now, but she just got the gun last year. So she'd already been diagnosed, it sounds like, for multiple years before she went and got the gun. Sorry. And that just does not make sense to me. What if she didn't have a brother there to lock the gun up? People like her should not be able to get a goddamn BB gun. Like, if you're going to use a car as a weapon, they need to go find her gun right now, and they need to go just take that shit and, I don't know, do something with it, but get it the hell away from this lady. And she should never even be able to buy a fucking BB gun at this point. Not even a remote control car. She'll drive it into somebody's leg.
Living in Texas.
Okay.
The gun in 2021.
Okay.
I purchased the gun.
Okay. And your brother has it right now?
This is like last year.
It's in a safe. And that's all in your house at 809? Okay. And
I wish he would have asked her right here if she lied on the paperwork to get the gun.
it's your brother, your mom and dad, and sometimes your sister that live there? Mm-hmm. Do you have a boyfriend or anything?
Yeah, I have a boyfriend.
Okay. Where does he live?
Holy shit! That's like a whole nother video. And she has a boyfriend. I was to say, because like in the pictures that they showed, like from her, and she's not a bad looking lady when she wants to be. Like, she was all dressed up in this dress, and like there was a couple pictures of her looking all churched up and nice, and I was like, yeah, guys would date her, yo. Like, guys would date her. Some guys would see her at a bar and they would pursue her. Yeah, imagine that this is what you're buying drinks for. Like, some lady like this. And as you're buying her drinks, she tells you that she's an accomplished attorney. You're like, oh shit. Not only is she cute, but she's professional. She's an attorney. She's got her shit together. And then, I don't know, she runs you over in the parking lot over some shit because she got upset. And she has a boyfriend. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that's just wow. Holy cow. I didn't see that coming. I would have thought she would have been single. But some guy is getting all the juice out of that tap, I guess.
Lives in Loxahatchee.
Okay.
Oh, he lives far
When was
away.
the last time you talked to him?
Last night.
Okay. Is everything
Oh.
good with him? Yeah. How long has he been your boyfriend?
2 weeks.
He's my fiance.
Okay.
Oh, 2 weeks, fiance.
I would like an attorney.
You want to talk to him for
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
All right. So as soon as he starts trying to establish where she actually was last night or who she was with, were you with your boyfriend? Were you guys arguing before he could even get into that? Like, did your boyfriend piss you off, and is that why you ran over these people? She just played the lawyer card. So, yeah, this all looks.
This
very
is where things get
manipulative.
interesting, and it shows that Beatrice is aware of what's going on around her.
No shit.
She asks the detective if she can use her phone to call her boyfriend.
Wasn't I saying this the whole time? She's very aware of what the hell's going on. She is fishing to try to figure out what legal battle she's going to have now. And of course, yes, not only does she want her phone to get rid of some social media shit, but she also wants to call her boyfriend for what?
The detective uses this as an opportunity to get her passcode and take a peek at what is on her phone.
Exactly. Let's do
Beatrice realizes this and decides she does not want to make the call after all.
Oh. Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, change your mind real quick. Because yes, we do want to see what the hell's on that phone. Did she make a post about something before she did it? Okay, this is getting interesting.
Can I call my boyfriend?
Yeah,
My
she just starts
fiance?
freaking out.
Do you know who his phone number is? You don't know his
Okay, notice this is the first time you'll actually see some sort of emotional expression on her. This is the very first time you will see it. And you can kind of see it. Her eyes light up, and that's because she realizes something is going to not go well for her, something that's going to affect her, some lie that she's been caught up in, or something. There is some actual reason why she wants to get that phone, and now she's backpedaling and saying that she doesn't want to make that phone call now because she doesn't want him to unlock her phone. And you can actually see some emotion here. Her head lifts up, her eyes get a little wider. Yo, I didn't see that much emotion on her face when she asked if anybody was dead. But the passcode on her phone, oh, let's see.
phone number?
It's in my phone.
Oh, now the wheels are turning.
There. Which
She looks
passcode?
more worried now than the whole time.
Okay. Who am I calling?
Can I delete my social media
No.
accounts?
Not right now. Who am I calling?
No one.
You.
Exactly. Exactly. No one. Get out of there.
Don't want me to call anyone?
No.
No.
Okay.
When she said no right there, that was the most emotion I've heard from her. And that did sound like a little bit of fear. Right?
I want to delete my social media.
I don't. Right now, we're not going to let you do that. Okay?
Sir,
Yeah.
what are my charges?
Exactly.
Probably 4 counts of aggravated battery and another count of aggravated assault.
Okay.
Okay.
I attempted to murder that woman.
Well, conferred with the state attorney, and they don't want to charge attempted murder right now. But if you're adamant, you know, you can always explain that to your defense attorney, but I'm sure they're going to.
No, I want the attempted murder charge.
You want the attempted murder charge.
See, that right there, I don't know. That could be a play at insanity. No, I want the charge. I want the charge because I could get all of them thrown out if I'm really crazy. Only a crazy person would want the charge. So pile all of them on if it means that I'm going to get away with all of them. I mean, this is literally probably how she's thinking. Like, I don't care how many of the charges you give me. I want more of them because I'll just get rid of all of them at once. Because obviously I'm going to go to a hospital and not a jail. Let's see.
Yeah.
Well, you will have an opportunity for first appearance, and you can explain that to the judge.
Right? And then my lawyer will have an opportunity to play this video for a jury and explain to them how I'm so crazy that I'm actually asking to be charged for these things. And a sane person wouldn't do that. So this is going to make me look nutty enough for some insanity stuff. That's
All right? All
what
right.
it looks like.
Beatrice is told what charges she will be receiving, and this next part is either part of her mental health issues, or she realizes being charged means they aren't taking her mental health seriously. Beatrice decides to turn up the crazy.
Yeah, exactly what the fuck I was just saying. Exactly what the fuck I was just saying, right? No, I want to be charged with because that's what an insane person would. What they would want things that are contradictory to things that we would want. Nobody else would want a murder charge, right? And now, of course, big surprise, she's going to start turning the crazy up when she starts realizing that, like, she's actually getting charged criminally and not doctorally, right? Now, she's been calm and composed this whole time. She's been emotionless, but let's see how she's willing to act when she actually wants something her way. Let's see what she does. Just keep in mind how calm she's been this whole time.
Because I tried to kill her.
Here we go. Instantly trying to get up.
We are documenting.
And I would like to walk out of here right now.
Well, the two don't go hand in hand.
Okay.
What?
You can't try to kill people and just walk free. So,
Well,
we fed you on.
I can try and kill you.
Well, I could try to kill you. Yeah, in her mind, you can walk free if you go to a mental hospital and you stay there for a month, and then they say, okay, we got her on the right dose of Xanax. She's ready to go back into the working world, and they let you walk out of a goddamn hospital. That is what the hell this lady is trying to play. Clearly. And as soon as she picks up on the fact that the schizophrenic bipolar thing isn't going to get her out of this, and that she's going to be charged criminally and not just taken to a hospital, of course she's going to start acting batshit crazy. And she even tells a police officer, I could kill you. Well, yeah, because only a crazy person would say something like that to a police officer in an interrogation room. Somebody that is just not aware of the world that they live in. And someone just not aware of consequences to anything. And that is how she wants to be portrayed, so that she can use the hospital to get out of this, I would guess, instead of having to actually take this through the justice system, which, quite frankly, isn't going to give a shit about her excuse. Let's see.
That's not going to go well.
Yes, it will go up.
It will.
No, I'm not going to sit down.
I'm not playing
going to
games.
sit down. I'm
She
not
just
playing.
said, I'll kill you. And she said, yes, that is going to go over well, like, because that's what a crazy person would say, right? With no disregard to what's going to happen to them. That's how she's trying to play this shit out. So, yeah, I'm thinking the bipolar schizophrenia thing on this, it just doesn't match up. Anti-personality disorder or straight sociopath, they go hand in hand.
Either.
All right.
No.
I don't want to hurt you.
I'm going to kill as many people as I can.
That's not going to happen.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Guys, let me walk out of here free, or I'm going to kill as many people as I can. But I'm going to go kill people if you let me go anyway. She's just trying to sound as crazy and stupid as she can. What happened to all that calmness and composure, right? Also, in the beginning of this, like, she was very mindful of what she was saying. She was pausing for, I don't know, 30 seconds at a time. I don't see her pausing about anything now. Watch how this conversation plays out. As soon as he says something to her, she's gonna like yell at him, tell him that she's gonna, like, she didn't have to wait for 20, 30 seconds to come up with, well, I'm gonna kill you, and that's gonna go over just fine. So yeah.
Okay? Listen, Beatrice. Beatrice, please sit down. We're being very nice to you.
No, instantly.
We're being
No.
very nice to you.
Tell you
No
what,
one wants to hurt you.
if we charge you with the attempted murder, will you sit down?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do that. Then sit down.
Okay.
All right,
Okay,
thank
take
you.
care of it. We'll change the charge.
Okay. You're still getting charged in the criminal system, though.
No.
That doesn't mean that you just get to go to the hospital now.
How many counts do you want, Beatrice?
Oh,
Pop up for me.
I don't know what that means.
Do you want one? Do you want...
wait, an attorney doesn't know what how many counts do you want means? An attorney doesn't know that? No. She played that shit to look crazy, and now they're actually going to give it to her, and now she's going to backpedal because now she's thinking, shit, do I really want 5 of these charges instead of those? Interesting.
Will you charge 1 time, 4 times, 5? How many do you want?
3 times.
Way to go, police officer lady. How many times do you want to be charged? What does that even mean? Well, you're an attorney, you know what charges are. 3 times, okay.
For every person that was hit.
Then there'll be probably 4.
There were 4 people that were hit?
Yes.
So do you want 4?
4.
Oh, there were 4 people that were hit? Because I don't really care about their safety or whatever, whether they're alive or not. Like, she doesn't show any remorse or feelings finding out that she hit an extra person. I guess she only cares about the charges.
Sounds good. We can do that.
Do this.
Can I get my phone now?
Yeah, I tried to kill those people. Okay.
Tried to kill people.
If that's what you want, that's what we can do.
There were 4 people that were hit?
So we'll find out how many, and we'll charge you for each one. Okay?
After realizing that begging for more serious charges backfired,
Oh.
Beatrice will now ask that they remove the attempted murder charges.
Did you really charge me with attempted murder?
Yes, ma'am. Times 4.
How did I fucking know she was gonna do that? I was like, no, just give it a second and it'll actually sink in to her that, like, yeah, if I want to take this route and look this extra crazy, they're gonna charge me with this amount of extra stuff that I just asked them to. And then she's gonna sit there and she's gonna think about it and she's gonna realize that she is fucking herself even more, even if it is just to look crazy. Because that's what this looks like to me. I'm going to set up some sort of insanity deal. I'll give them some sort of interrogation that just looks nutty as fuck. I'll keep going back and forth. I'll ask for more charges. But then she gets halfway into it and realizes, oh, that's right, we're negotiating charges now, and they're still not sending me to a doctor. I'm probably going to go to jail. Now she starts actually worrying about the charges. Let's take those back.
Can I take those off?
Oh,
Can you take what off, ma'am?
can you
The
go?
attempted murder charges.
What do you mean? Can you take?
Can you go back in time in your time machine and not run those people over? Idiot.
Come off. I don't understand what you're asking.
Can I take all the charges off of me?
No. What?
Again, would you ever pay this lady to be your attorney? Can I take those charges off? I didn't order those. Can I take that off the menu? This is an attorney who has her own law office practice.
What's your charge with me? You can't. No, ma'am. What else would you like to be charged with?
Well, I would like the charges to be taken off or to be lowered, and I would still like this interrogation to look nutty as fuck so that I can use it to make an insanity plea. That's what she wants. That is literally what she wants right now. She wants those charges dropped back to aggravated assault, and she still wants a nutty ass interrogation to set up some sort of insanity thing?
I don't want to be charged with anything at all.
Oh, I'm
That's not an
sorry.
option at this point.
She just doesn't want to be charged with nothing. That
Why
was
not?
never an option.
Because you did it.
You ran people over.
What if someone else did it?
Oh, well,
But somebody else did it.
it was you.
Somebody else did it.
No guts, no glory? What does that mean?
It's a sports saying.
Okay. Sir,
Yes, ma'am?
I want to take my own life.
Yeah, we
You
heard.
want to take your own life?
Yes.
Okay. Well, make sure you see a counselor at the jail.
At the jail. Okay. Okay. Notice, watch. Her behavior is going to change even more because now he has actually confirmed jail. He did just say jail. I don't like that they cut out after that. Maybe there's, but she has been informed of jail. Jail has actually been used in the vocabulary. The word jail has now come up. Let's see how she reacts to that.
You didn't really give me those murder charges, did you?
Yes, ma'am.
I wasn't in my right mental state when I asked for that.
Wait,
And I
but are you in your right mental state now to take it back? What if you were in the right mental state when you confessed? Now she starts backpedaling because the insanity shit is probably not going to pan out. And now we're actually going to start to see some real emotion from her because this shit pertains to her and it's not going to pan out the way that she wants it to ideally. Those are about the only things that I actually see sociopaths show any emotion or anger or frustration towards, is if they're not getting what they want, no matter what it costs somebody else, no matter how much pain and agony it costs somebody else, because they can't relate to that pain and agony, right? Like, they don't care if they have to murder somebody in cold blood to take their tape deck. They just want that tape deck. They can't fathom how much pain and suffering they're inflicting on somebody just to get that tape deck, and they will do it. They would do it. Me or you would never hurt somebody over a goddamn tape deck. It's just stupid. But a sociopath, they won't feel bad about it as long as they're getting something out of it. They're getting that tape deck that they wanted. Yo, if they have to throw you off of a cliff to do it, well, they can and will, because they can literally walk away from that cliff with a smile on their face, listening to their new tape deck or iPod without anything weighing on their consciousness about anything evil or terrible that they just did and how much pain and suffering they've inflicted on somebody else. Some of them might actually end up kind of like being proud of themselves for doing that. I don't know. It's bizarre. This is just what I've seen. And that is the type of person that I think this woman is. Not this schizophrenia, bipolar shit. She's just using that to try to shield her from the law. Not a very good lawyer.
And so this is, like I said before, you're being charged with something now. You're not being convicted of it. Okay, that's going to be something for you to establish in a courtroom. Okay.
So what am I charged?
By the way, my personal advice to anybody trying to make up an insanity deal, your only bet is to literally go in front of a judge, take a shit in your hand, and eat it in front of everybody. Then they might believe you. So, real talk, that's what you got to do. If you're using any of this advice, best of luck to you.
Charged with?
4 counts of attempted murder.
And what else?
That's it at the moment. Well, I'm sorry. And a count of assault and felony fleeing and looting, I believe, as well.
When did I flee?
Just prior to you being here. You don't remember that?
No, I don't remember anything.
I don't remember anything, of course.
The interrogation would end here. The police would need more information about her mental health, so they would ask her boyfriend to come in and answer some questions.
Can you tell me this, the police report of Beatrice, what the police report says about
Yes, so basically, she went to the fresh market. She was down like one of the parking.
So this is the guy squeezing all the juice out of that tap. I don't even know what to say or think yet, but bro, your life might have been saved this day because she could have killed your ass.
Stalls, and then just drove into all the people that were standing and sitting on the sidewalk, and then said that she wanted to kill them.
How come he doesn't look surprised? When the cop just said, like, she just drove a bunch of people, he just blankly looks like, oh, that, yeah, she does that.
Is that normal for her? Is that what?
I haven't seen anything like that. I was speaking to her last night on the phone for an hour and a half on the phone.
And again, if he's being honest about this, I've never seen anything like that. I wonder how long they've been together. A good sociopath, you won't see any of that. You will not know that they're a sociopath. That's the last thing that they want you to find out is that they are a sociopath, especially if you're dating them. So it kind of makes sense that this guy's like, whoa, I've never heard of any shit like that. Are we even talking about the same person? Because the chick I've been dating, I don't even think she's capable of doing some crazy shit like that. That is how a sociopath would have their game locked down. And that is exactly where their boyfriend, girlfriend, significant other would be just sitting there like, what? Let's see where this goes. I want to know how long they've been
How long
dating.
have you guys been together?
Right.
Since New Year's.
Since New Year's. So is it like, is it February? It's 2 months?
Okay, you're
New Year's of this year.
Right.
2022.
Yep.
Yeah. A big surprise. You don't know her for that long. Like, okay, 6 months, whatever. You have not known this woman for that long. Right? And high functioning, high level sociopath, they can keep a relationship like this for 6 months, for a year, and the person they're in a relationship with will have no fucking idea about any of this, right? And I'm sure maybe she's mentioned to him that she has some schizophrenia and bipolar to deal with, maybe, so that if some shit ever does happen, she can blame it on that. But this looks a lot like an anti-personality disorder to me, especially when you have like a spouse or a boyfriend that has really been kept in the dark about it. Yo, let me ask you this. You think you could date a bipolar and schizophrenic woman and not know about it? Because you could date a sociopath and not know about it. And this guy right here, he's looking like he didn't know about it. He just looks like a normal guy. Let's see.
Okay,
That's when we met.
okay. Like New Year's Eve, or was like New Year's?
Yeah, we went to Mulligan's our first date, and
Okay.
we were talking like 2 weeks prior. She told me straight off in the beginning, like when we on the Facebook dating app, I personally was stopped dating for like almost a year at that point, and I opened up the Facebook dating app, and she said I said, what are you looking for? She said a husband, and I said, well, I'm ready to settle down too.
Okay.
So we went on a date, and we instantly just connected.
Okay, if you're talking to a woman and you ask her what she just straight up leads with the husband card, I don't know, that's almost a red flag to me. Someone that doesn't believe in marriage, FYI, I know.
And the first, I didn't see nothing wrong with her at all. The first 6 weeks, it was great. She'd come over every weekend, spend 5 days at my house at a time. From what I saw in her, she went.
Think about that. She was able to manipulate for 5 days at a time. She was able to keep her shit together and look absolutely normal in front of this guy. And I believe that. That wouldn't be the case if she was bipolar schizophrenic. I tell you that right now.
Her to fly. Yes, go
You
ahead.
guys live separately, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So she's been like, what happened today is out of character for her.
So she told me the other day. So I just do you know about her condition?
She told us a little bit, but I didn't actually get to talk to her all too much today.
Okay, did she, from her voice, she said that she was trying to kill them?
Yeah.
Really?
That I heard, yeah.
He's like, oh
She
shit.
said it to the...
Yeah, she said it multiple times.
And don't forget, she said she was going to kill you too, Mr. Police Officer, if you didn't change the charges and then change them back.
Does she know these people?
No.
Okay, yeah, that's all I need to see. This is pretty much the end of it anyway. You tell this guy is absolutely just fucking clueless. Why the hell would she do this? Did she know these people? That's the reaction I would expect from the boyfriend that didn't know he was dating an anti-personality disorder sociopath woman. This is the exact reaction I would expect when something like this happens. Um, you can read this guy like a book. Her, you can't. Her, you can't. So I'm calling it. I'm calling it. She's some kind of antisocial. She's using this bipolar schizophrenia thing as an excuse, and it's not working out for her. Do you think I'm wrong? Leave me a comment, but she's definitely going on the shitty people's playlist, and hopefully this poor guy walked out of the police station that day and like got his number changed and moved. I mean, like moved out of state. Yo, if she can do that to a group of people that she doesn't even know at a parking lot and not even feel bad, imagine what she could do to you. This is how you wake up with your dick cut off. And that has happened to a guy, by the way. He woke up, his girlfriend cut his dick off, he passed out from blood loss, and luckily, true story, they managed to recover this man's penis. Apparently, the woman drove away with it still in her hand, and the first stop sign she came to, she threw the dick at the stop sign. And when the police officers and EMS showed up and they were like taking this guy to the ambulance, one of the police officers noticed, I think they noticed some blood splatter on a stop sign. And sure enough, this guy's dick was laying under the stop sign. Now, the story does have a happy ending. They did surgically attach this guy's penis back onto him, and apparently it still works to the point where the guy actually ended up making a porno called Frankenpenis. Yes, this is real. So everything turned out okay for that guy. He ended up even getting to become a porn star because so many people wanted to see, well, that he recovered, I guess. So, yeah, we can end that on a high note, but this is literally how you get your dick cut off, is by dating a woman like that. So hopefully this guy just got the hell out of Dodge and drove right past that stop sign. Later, everybody. Man, be careful. These people are out there.